Welcome back, mental magicians. Remember, Nikola Tesla said everything is energy. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, right? You hear us talk about the intelligent powers in nature and humans in the Unfolding Consciousness series and in the Objects of Theosophy, which is the investigation of the unexplained laws of nature and the psychic powers that are latent or dormant in mankind. Now, what are these powers or abilities? There is a massive responsibility if you are using the law of attraction or any psychic ability. We all have these abilities. We do. They remain dormant in most of us, and should we gain access to them, we are to use them to help humanity. This ability is also called Kriya Shakti, or thought power. It's ancient. It belongs to everybody. Look it up. And it can be successfully used no matter your intent, which is hopefully unselfish. It is in operation right now by those who are not compassionate, sharing, or caring. So this is the reason for these episodes. This is a labor of love to get these teachings out into the world so that ethical humans, you, will hopefully use them to improve our world for all beings on Earth. So each week we read through the book, which is The Secret of Mental Magic by William Walker Atkinson. If you missed the earlier videos, check them out. There's a whole playlist here on this channel. We're on page 35, and I massage Atkinson's text so it flows a little easier, but I don't change the context. So here we go. Remember, do no harm and do not take something that belongs to someone else. All right? We left off with energy operates like electricity. The brain is a transformer of energy. It transforms it. Atkinson says here, it is a transformer, not a creator. It is a transformer of the universal mind energy, or a converter. Converts it into energy, into thought energy. So it's not the generator that many of us still believe to this day. Desire, will, etc. the brain cannot create. Its responsibility is merely to transform or convert the existing energy into usable forms and phases. Now, science agrees in the belief that in all brain processes there is an employment of some kind of energy, a burning up of brain substance, just as there is a constant burning up of the elements of a chemical or electrical battery in the production of electricity. So there is a burning up of brain matter in the production of mental activity. And yet, science teaches us that no electricity is ever created. It's simply a portion of the universal electricity that's already there. This electricity is converted or transformed from where it exists already. And he says that the same holds good in mental action in the brain. The two mentative poles. Now, he talks about this a lot. Let's take a look at it. The two mentative poles. In these lessons, Atkinson holds to the fact that there is evident in the manifestation of mentative energy in any and all forms, two distinct poles or phases. Now, stay with me here. He names these two mentative poles the emotive pole and the motive pole. The word motive means that which acts or wills or moves or chooses or controls. The word emotive, or emotive from the heart, that means feeling, emotion, agitation, passion, sensation, etc. Now, you're going to be able to fix these two ideas connected with the mentative poles by thinking of the motive pole as will, let's think of it as the brain, and the emotive pole as feeling, let's think of that as heart. That's how I'm going to do it with you. The two active manifestations of the two mentative poles are as follows. The emotive pole manifests as desire actively. The motive pole manifests actively as will. Desire and will in evidence always. You will find these two phases, desire and will, manifest in every action, everything. There always must be a preceding desire and then a preceding will, a cause and effect, if you will. Even in the production of a thought, one must desire to know something and then will to know it. That's before the thought has even evolved. The thought is the child of two parents, desire and will. Now think this over for a moment. You can digest this. You may not always recognize the two elements because they often come so close together. But again, desire and will. Desire may manifest outside of the conscious field, but it is always present. And your mind may be so filled with desire that you may not recognize the action of the will, but it is always there. These two forces, desire and will, are manifest all through nature. Haeckel, the German scientist, in his works along the lines of the most advanced scientific thinking. Now remember, this is like 116 years ago. Anyway, it's about 120 years ago. Back then, he tells us that even the actions of the atoms have the feeling or desire of attraction or repulsion, and that's evident there, and the impulse of will responding to that action. Again, this is coming through 120 years ago. This is a universal law, and its evidences have been seen everywhere. Again, even in the actions of the atoms. Now we know much more today in 2023. The feeling or desire of attraction or repulsion is evident, and the impulse of will in responding to that, causing the action in accordance with the desire. It is a universal law, and its evidences have been seen everywhere. So desire and will in telementation and in the mind, these two poles play a very important part along the lines of telementation. Telepathy, in other words. Not only does desire cause a response of will, but both desire and will are active forces in themselves and act and react upon the desire and will poles of mentality of others. We shall see many evidences of this. There's going to be proving our studies here in these lessons. In fact, the entire theory and practice of mental magic depends upon this underlying principle. Your strong desire force is able to rouse the will of another mind in response to it. It may likewise set up vibrations in that other mind, awakening their similar desires. Your willpower may arise the desire in the mind of another and cause action in accordance to that. Pay attention, stay with me here. It may also overpower the will of another and lead it captive. Now, I'm sharing these with you, trusting that you, the viewer, are going to use these abilities responsibly to benefit all and not only for yourself. I'm trusting you. Your combined will and desire pouring out an imitative current may produce a combined effect upon the minds of others by telemental induction. These two poles of the mind are both active and powerful in their effect. Both may be roused into intense activity according to well-known laws, as we shall see and prove to ourselves. So let's take a few moments to consider desire and willpower. Desire and will force before we go any further. Now, the reason I do these studies is because the amount of law of attraction gurus, videos, and books is huge. It's rampant today. And it doesn't seem to be focusing on how to responsibly use these abilities. Remember, when we talk about the intelligent powers in nature and humans, in the Unfolding Consciousness series that has been written down by Dr. Eddie Villamoria, and in the Objects of Theosophy, which talks about the investigation of the unexplained laws or hidden mysteries of nature and man, we're talking about the psychic powers. So what are these psychic abilities? What are they? There is such responsibility in using the law of attraction or any psychic ability. We all have them. They all mostly remain dormant. But should we gain access to them, we need to know how to use them and how to use them responsibly. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for being here.